What is up, everyone? I'm coming on here for a couple of plays for today, and we end up having a very incredible day today on the VIP, guys. We just cashed a 9x, we cashed a 4x last night, and I believe this is like a 2.2 or a 2.5x, which was sent out right here on this channel a couple of days ago, with Mendoza obviously going under, and then with Messi going under as well. I will say, if you guys watched yesterday's video, it's a very stark contrast to yesterday, because yesterday we ended up having a very bad day. Or 2 days ago, however you want to think about it. And we ended up going down like 7 units 2 days ago. And then yesterday, we ended up going up. I think we've went up like 11 units, maybe even more than that, right? Because I really did not send that many plays out yesterday. There's only like 1 or 2 games of soccer. So that's really why I didn't have that much volume yesterday. You'll see here in League of Legends, we go ahead and cash this this morning with League of Legends correlation. I took 2 unders together and both of them hit. Just showing that very quickly. I have the game pulled up. As I always say in League of Legends, guys, I always say go to this site right here, SofaScore. I really recommend you click around and see how these games actually turn out. But I always say that the winning team is going to get about 2 to 3x the amount of kills as the losing team does. Okay, so we bet on this SK team right here. This kind of like I don't know, it's like, I guess it's an S and a K, but it's down here, and they end up losing the game, right? It was 20-9. So again, the winning team gets 20 kills, the losing team gets 9 kills. So right in line with that 2 to 3x the amount of kills the winning team's going to get. And then if we look at the second game, very similar story. It was 20-7 this game, right? So 2 very similar games. This team over here ends up winning both of the games. And you're going to see that over here on the right side of the screen in these games, these guys get a low number of kills, right? 0 kills, 2 kills, 2 kills, 4 kills, and then over here on the left side of the screen, you have a guy getting 8 kills, 4 kills, 3 kills, 5 kills, and again with game 2, similar story, right? 8, 5, 4, 2, so these guys get a higher number of kills. Pretty much everyone on this side of the screen, everyone on this team goes over. Hype, I don't know, it'd have to see what his line was. Maybe Hype actually did go under, but literally like three out of the 4 guys that you would bet on here, you never bet on these guys down here for different reasons, but 3 out of the 4 guys down here go over, and then everyone on this team over here that we ended up betting under on goes under. So I ended up taking Wonder and Skeens, but if I wanted to take Skeens and Slow Q or Jopa and Wonder, whoever I would have took on this team would have went under, right? So this is correlation. Because this team played a bad game, everyone on this team goes under. Because they lost both games, everyone on this team goes under, okay? And you're going to see just how these guys went under by a lot, right? 2 kills, right? He gets 4 in his line 6, or this guy gets 3 in his line 7. Like, these were not even close to hitting here. The other play that hits here is a 4-man, and this was using football correlation, okay? So what's exciting about this is Canadian football, and this was on the VIP that I sent this out. And as you're going to see, I use this sometimes as an example, right? I say when a quarterback, let's say he gets 150 yards, how many yards is his receiver going to get, right? Well, his receiver only got 18 yards in this game, right? And I'll also say the vice versa of this. Sometimes I say if a quarterback gets 400 yards or something like that, then his receiver is probably going to have 100 plus yards or whatever it's going to be, right? So this is textbook football correlation. And again, I always echo this. It doesn't matter whether it's Canadian, whether it's college, whether it's NFL, guys. Football is football. And you have a quarterback, you have a receiver, and if their quarterback does very bad, this quarterback actually gets subbed out of the game. That's how bad he did, okay? So the team ended up not liking what they were seeing, and he gets subbed out, I think, the end of the third quarter. But at halftime, he had like 80 yards. So he wasn't going to hit this line whatsoever. He has 126 yards. And again, his number 1 target, his number 1 receiver only had 18 yards because this offense and the quarterback did really bad, right? So hopefully you guys are understanding what I'm saying. League of Legends, very based on around if a team's going to win or lose. Obviously, this team loses, so the unders hit. And then Canadian football, NFL, college, whatever you want to say, very centered around how the offense is going to do. If the offense is very good, these guys are going to go over, and vice versa, okay? Now, soccer is another thing that I talk about all the time. Yesterday's play did end up missing with Cameron Dicker, and then the soccer players, we'll see how they do, but you're going to see that they're very correlated together. So if they have a lot of passes, they're going to go over together. If they don't have very many passes, so they don't have very much possession, they're going to go under together. Last thing is obviously with Mendoza, solid call here. He plays an okay game. Yeah, I know he threw a pick 6 and stuff. Yeah, I mean, the line was just too high, right at 144. This was a solid call here. I think both of these calls, Messi and Mendoza. I said Messi's line was too high at 37.5. I would have put him probably in like the low 30s. And then same with Mendoza. I think when I record that video, I think I put him in like the high 90s is what I thought his line should be. Maybe the low 100s, like maybe like 102-ish. And he gets 86 here. So solid little cash there. And then the sleeper pick, we do miss by 0.5. So unfortunate there. I mean, he misses by literally one headshot there. And then here's a really good example of opposite correlation, right? So if you look at both of these plays side by side, actually you can look at all three of these plays side by side here. If I delete some of this stuff, some of this clutter that's getting in the way. But if you look at this play here that literally misses, all four things miss, well, this could look, bad or whatever, but it's actually not bad, because what ends up happening is, look, League of Legends, I took the unders hoping these guys would lose the game. They don't. They end up winning the game, so both these guys go over together. And then in Canadian football, like I said, very correlated based on the offenses. So this quarterback gets 260 yards and his number one receiver gets 75 yards. Look how correlated these guys are together, right? So if this guy would have gotten, let's say, 180 yards, then Tyson Philpott, his number one receiver, maybe would have got, 40 yards or whatever. If Davis Alexander would have gotten, let's say, 400 yards and he would have been right around here, then Philpott probably would have got, 110 yards or whatever, right? So these guys are very correlated. They're moving together. And it's not rocket science, guys. As a quarterback throws to a receiver, they're going to get yards together. So if Davis throws to Tyson for 20 yards, Davis gets 20 yards, Tyson gets 20 yards, right? If he throws for 500 yards, pretty much everyone on that team's going over. If he throws for 100 yards, pretty much everyone on that team's going under. So there's no reason to not be betting like this on PrizePicks, right? You're seeing that we're literally getting 9Xs like this. And I even talked about this in yesterday's video, and I talked about this for a while, or a lot of videos, is that you're going to see a lot of losses on my VIP. You might see, 7 losses just like we did have right here, and then boom, we cash a 9X, and that 9X is going to pay for all these losses. And literally, I'm not trying to come off as arrogant. I'm not trying to brag or anything. I'm just saying, I said all of this stuff yesterday, and I say all this stuff every single day, right? So, the people that are going to be able to trust the process and understand that this is a winning strategy, right? It all boils down to that we have an edge long term. We have a winning strategy long term that is proven to win long term. And all you have to do is trust the process, tail the bets, and understand that, if you have $200 in your account, you can build that $200 up to thousands of dollars. You just shouldn't be playing, $30 an entry, because if you play $30 an entry, you could get wiped out very quickly if we go on a little bit of a loss streak. So stay consistent, stay smart. Don't be afraid to only put down, $2 to $3 a bet as you're getting started. I honestly have no problem with you guys betting $1 an entry just to get your feet wet, right? Just to get in the game a little bit, right? If you join the VIP and for the first week, I recommend, honestly, just play $1 entries and just get your feet wet. See the system there. If you're like, well, I don't want to waste my first week of the VIP, just text me, guys. My number's right here, and I'm always open to help, right? If you're like, man, I'm new to this sports betting thing, I want to get in, but I don't want to waste my month, I'll be like, man, I'll throw in a free week for you, honestly, so you can get your feet wet and you can kind of get acclimated here. Again, my main goal of this channel is to be as transparent as possible and just show you guys what I do, show you guys my wins, my losses, and just track everything long term. And 2, to help people win long term, right? Help make you that side hustle type income where you can make a couple thousand, couple hundred, whatever it is, everyone's in a different place, dollars a month to pay off, different things, save up a little bit of money, whatever it is, right? So again, my number's right here. Best way to get into the VIP is with KALSHI. 2 months free of the VIP for signing up with KALSHI for code detective. And then another great way is with Sleeper. And I will get into Sleeper today as well right here, because we do have a Sleeper play. Last thing, I know I kind of I've talked a lot, but we are literally back up to pretty much all-time highs, 252, right? And if you watch yesterday's video, right, and I think this is a really, really good video to see this, because yesterday's video and today's video, even though we had a bad day yesterday's video, and then today we had a really, really good day, I'm not really saying anything differently, right? Even yesterday, we went down 7 units. Everything that I said was correct. Everything that I said was true to what I say almost every day, which is we have an edge long term. Got to be consistent. League of Legends, Valorant, Counter-Strike, football, and soccer are the sports that we do. I even kind of talked about a little bit of this where I was going into how these things are correlated. If you want to watch that in yesterday's video, and even if you go to the day we went down 7 units, right? One day does not matter at all. I do not care about if we're profitable today, if we're profitable tomorrow, if we're profitable this week. I am trying to put together profitable months. I'm trying to put together profitable seasons, right? In sports betting, you are not going to win every single entry, okay? It still baffles me how many people join the VIP and they play 2 entries and 2 entries lose back to back, and they are frustrated and upset. And I'm like, why do you think that you're going to sports bet and you're never going to lose, especially when you're playing 3 and 4 mans, right? To get into this game is to lose. You're gonna have brutal beats. You're gonna have 3 out of 4s like this, where it's just, man, that's a tough punch in my stomach that we just had 4 3 out of 4s this day. You're gonna have brutal times. So if you can't handle it, then you shouldn't be sports betting, right? And to sports bet, you're gonna lose. Like, I don't know why people think that they're gonna be the one person on planet Earth that's just gonna go, 1,000 for 1,000 and just cash absolutely everything, right? That is not how sports betting works. That's not how that's just super unrealistic, right? So if anyone on the internet is coming out and saying that they literally only win, they're obviously lying to you. Like, how would they not be lying to you, right? It's sports betting, guys. You're not going to win every entry, but you can put together a profitable edge long term, and you can win long term. As you're going to see, everything is tracked in this video. I just updated this graph 5 minutes ago. We went up about 12 units yesterday. This graph was at 240 yesterday. Now it's at 252, which is literally at all-time highs. Once again, it took 1 day to turn it around because we cashed 3 entries. So that's how quick things happen. So if you went down 7 units and you're like, man, I'm gonna take a break because this guy sucks, 1 day, boom, we're back up, and now we're gonna be racing up to all-time highs again and again and again. This week, this is the week where now we are at the best time to be sports betting in the entire year. This week, when we go into Friday, Saturday, we have the first set of college football games, right? I know like SMU's playing, and I think Hawaii's playing. So this week is going to be the first week that we're going to have serious college football games being played. And then I think we have one more week, and then we have full swing NFL, full swing college football, okay? So we have week 0 coming up this next week, which is a great thing to be excited about, right? We are now in we've had some preseason and stuff like that, but we are now in like the football season, right? Where we have actual games that matter being played right now, okay? So let's get into the first pick. Hopefully you guys, are conceptualizing what I'm talking about. It's really important to get down the main concept of this because it's easy to take my bets when we're winning, right? Anyone can win, anyone can bet all the time, but you need to be able to conceptualize this stuff in winning times or in losing times, whatever, because it really shows when we're down 20 units, when we're down 25 units. That's when the real people start showing of who is going to actually make it and who's going to opt out and stuff like that, right? Because times are eventually going to come where we're going to go on a bad streak and we really are feeling it, okay? That's when, the true champions are made right there, the people who can stick out those sort of times. And we always are going to rise up from the ashes. I'm telling you, all right? I've been doing this for 2.5 years. We've only had 4 losing months in 34 months. Okay, so we are 29-4 on winning versus losing months, which is incredible. That's like a 90%, 95% rate of hitting profitable months. And even the unprofitable months, the 4 months we've ever had, they're very sporadic. It's almost once a year at this point. We go down like 15 units or something that month. Like, it's not a big deal whatsoever. It's just is what it is. And we've had multiple months, like 5 or 6 months in that journey where we've actually gone up more than 100 units, which is absolutely crazy as well. Okay, so let's get into the first pick. The thing I do want to say is with Sleeper, you can get 2 months of the VIP. With that being said, on Sleeper, right, I only take about 1 to 2 Sleeper entries a day. Again, we focus a lot on PrizePicks here, but the reason why you need more apps on your phone or on your computer, whatever it is because Sleeper today, look at the promos they have, okay? They have a $5 free pick. So it's literally someone going out there and just handing you $5. It's like you walking down the street and someone saying, hey, here's $5, put it on whatever you want to put it on, right? So it's completely free money. I'm going to be sending that out today, maybe on the free plan on my winnable. And then we have a pick right here in the WNBA, and we have a pick right here for Shohei Ohtani, both of these discounted, okay? So all 3 of these plays right here, very solid. I mean, you can't argue with the free $5. It doesn't matter if you're a $100 bettor, right? $5, you could play $5 and you could put it on a 20-man. And if that hits, maybe it has a 0.5% chance of hitting, you could turn that $5 into $1,000+ or whatever it is if you wanted to do a 20-man, right? But again, for most people, just throw this on a 2-man, just throw this on a 3-man. I'll have a pick for you later today on my free plan right here, okay? So we do have Carla Letty, I think is how you say that name, and I'm going to take her over. Very simple reasoning. She's discounted, right? Her line's 27.5, and her line now is 24.5 on PRA, which I always love the PRA discounts on NBA and WNBA because it's just the most consistent thing to be betting on. Sometimes Sometimes they're going to have really good games shooting. Sometimes they're going to have really good games rebounding and assisting and whatnot. Really solid pick here. Again, it's a discount, so I really have nothing else to say. And then we have Uri, however you say that. Also, sorry, these names are a little bit difficult, but we are taking him in Counter-Strike to go over 13.5 headshots in maps 1 through 2. Okay, so this is in Counter-Strike 2. You should just be able to look this up and take him over, right? So yesterday's sleeper play, we did miss by 0.5. Hopefully you can come through and hit one of these. On Sleeper, by the way, I'm going to be sending out this pick too with Otani. Both of these are 3Xs. So at the end of the day, as long as we just hit 1 and 2 of these, like if we were to hit this one, for example, but we missed the Otani one, we would be in the green, right? It's the same concept that I talk about on PrizePicks, just at a smaller level. Instead of needing to hit maybe 1 in 7 or 1 in 8 of them, we just need to hit 1 in every 3 of them or 1 in every 2 of them, and we will be profitable, okay? So that is that on Sleeper. The second pick of the day is going to be on PrizePicks. Before I get into that, I do want to say that this is going to be one of my last days, and I'm doing the football season pass with profit guarantee for $150. Okay, told you guys we're at all-time highs. I've had people that bought this a week or 2 weeks ago, and they've already paid this off, and now they have the whole season ahead of them, working with house money pretty much, where they're fundamentally got the VIP free because they made that money in 2 weeks of joining. And now they're here, and now they have the entire season ahead of them. Like week 0 of college football hasn't even started yet, and they've already paid off the season pass with the picks. So if you want to get that, that's going to be the first link in the description. My number will also be down in the description too, so you guys can text me if you have any questions or anything like that. Again, this is only going to be available for the next couple of days here. I will probably end up ending this maybe next Thursday or next Friday. Okay, so maybe another 5 or 6 days to get this in. Also, all of these promo codes. So I talked a little bit about BETR, I talked about Sleeper, I talked about KALSHI, but I have all these apps you guys can sign up for: Underdog, Fliff, Rebet, NOVIG, ONYX. So if you're already in the VIP, if you want to get into the VIP, test it out. This is going to be the best way to do so, right? You sign up for an app, you put $10 in, and you do whatever else, and then you get a free month or 2 of the VIP. And if you're already in the VIP, you can add on monthly membership by signing up for something. So if you don't have ONYX odds yet, go get ONYX odds. I'll give you a free month, right? Again, text me. It's going to be the main way to get into the VIP there for literally $10 or less, just signing up with these apps, okay? And a lot of these apps, they have different deposit matches and stuff like that, okay? So first pick of the day is going to be on this Steelers and Jets game happening today in this night game versus in this preseason game, right? All right, and we're going to take Lew Nicholas III to go over 22.5 rush yards. Now, if you look at Eli, I forget his last name, but it was the guy on the Army who's the running back on the Steelers. His line is actually slightly higher, and he got a lower number of carries in the first game. Lew Nicholas got 10 rushes in the first game that they played, which is a lot of volume for a preseason game, okay? The only players is going to be Lew Nicholas, and then it's Eli. Again, he has a long last name. He was the running back for the Army last year. And then they have Caleb Johnson, right? And Caleb Johnson, there's actually talks that he might even get cut. Caleb Johnson only had 3 carries in the game that they had. So really, Lew and Eli are splitting carries in this backfield. And Lew does look like the dominant player here, okay? He got 10 rushes. I think he had 36 yards. And he did have a touchdown as well, okay? So I think, again, if he can get 8-9 rushes once again in this game, I think he can easily break 22.5 yards, right? Like I said, the guy who is actually getting less carries than him, Eli, his line is 25.5. So 22.5 is really solid here. And again, anything can happen with these rushing yards, right? He could break out a 15-yard play, the first play of the game, and go ahead and go over. Now, they do have Jalen Warren, and they have who else do they have? I'm forgetting their other backup, but they're actually announced to not be playing today. So from what I can tell, Lew is actually starting in this game, and he's going to play most of the game like he did the last game. So he's pretty much playing, and if not splitting carries, kind of like a normal NFL backfield is, right? If you split carries in the NFL, so let's talk about the Lions are coming to mind with Montgomery and Gibbs, even though both of those players are insanely good. But if you split carries in a normal NFL offense, you are projected to get about 9 to 10 carries each. So again, he's pretty much playing a normal NFL game, just with him and the rookie that he's playing with. Okay, so It's going to be that first pick of the day there. Second pick of the day is going to be 2 players on Club America, and they're playing Suarez right here, and we are taking both these guys to go under together, actually. So we're taking both these guys to go under together. Both of these guys play kind of similar spots on the field. Actually, not really, but they do play kind of in this middle of the field build-up right here. And again, the concept always applies with soccer, right? I talked about football today. Football is very correlated based on offenses. So if the offense has a really good game, the quarterback receiver combo is going to have a good game and go over together. If they have a bad game, vice versa. Same thing with soccer. Possession, a lot of possession, these guys should go over together. Lower number of possession, these guys should go under together, okay? These guys played in March, okay? So a little bit ago, but this was the exact same matchup in March. Club America had 67% possession in this game. Okay, so this was back in March. They had 67% possession, and this guy only had 33 passes in that game. So we did go over, but they had a ton of possession. Okay, now you could look at this 2 ways. You could say, well, they're playing again, so aren't they going to have another like 67%, 65% possession? You could say that, but I think, based on my knowledge of soccer, getting 67% possession in teams that are in the same league, which is League MX, two teams playing in League MX, it is really hard to get in the kind of like mid 60 range for possession. Normally a pretty dominant performance is like 60% to 40%. So I think there's a chance that Club America has like 60% possession and both these guys still go under just because it's not enough for them. Okay, so hopefully that kind of makes sense. I just think that they're going to need like in the mid 60% wise possession to go over this line. And again, it could happen. It did kind of happen in March, but I think that's a really big ask right there, okay? You don't normally see like in the mid 60 to 70s unless you have like a really, really good team versus like a really mediocre team. And both of these teams are in the same league, right? So they're in the same division, they play similar like-minded and not like-minded, but similar teams and with similar kind of skill levels and stuff like that, okay? So that's going to be the play of the day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, hopefully at the beginning of the video when I'm talking about just like the day-to-day fluctuation, right? Am I a little bit more excited because we had a better day today? Sure, but I'm really saying the same stuff and my mindset's the same, right? We go up like 11, 12 units today. It doesn't really affect anything, right? I don't care about day-to-day stuff. I care about putting together months and seasons of profitability and then being able to track all of that, putting together, 7, 8, 9 bets a day every single day, do it day in and day out, and then we can look back a month from now and be like, okay, cool, we had a 45 unit month, we had a 50 unit month, we had a 100 unit month, whatever it is, and being able to generate that profit month after month after month. All that matters in sports betting is getting that slight edge. People kill to get slight edges in sports betting, and I'm showing you an edge in sports betting. It's very simple. It is using the strategy correlation. And all you need is reps, right? You just need to flip that coin enough times to where you get that money start going and the odds in your favor pretty much, okay? Thank you guys again. I'm going to wrap up the video here. I appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.